I'm going to go over the trade recap today of the trade that I took on Friday, August 15th. So this is the only winning trade that I had besides a break-even trade and a losing trade, and I made it back times three. So that's pretty good. A good way to bounce back throughout the week, especially with this horrible PA in August. But just go ahead and going over the trade recap. Since we already swept liquidity at all-time highs and we failed to break these highs up here, I was just looking for us to tap into this fair value gap and this daily gap, and that's exactly what we did with this candle. Except for when we opened up here since we ended up rejecting this fair value gap. However, we ended up obviously leaving a prominent low here on the daily level. So that's what my level was for the day. It was going to be this low on the daily low, especially since we did have news as well. I was thinking about a news play instead of my traditional, AMD model. But going down to the 4 hour, I just wanted to see anything that support my 4 hour, and we did see a 4 hour gap here that we did respect. So then that's that. And then we ended up building a rejection block for extra confluence right there as a heat zone. So we have a rejection block from this fair value gap right here. We have a heat zone here causing more bearish play. I mean, not bearish play, but bearish structure. And I want to go on the 1 hour to confirm that as well. And then also, I'll go ahead and go over this indicator in a little bit as well. But just overall structure was just bearish for me. The only thing that I was kind of concerned was these hourly gaps right here that we had, and we were obviously rejecting it. But this low here was just sticking out for me as well under this gap here, so I wasn't really too scared to enter some shorts here, especially leaving this 1 hour gap here through London session. So that even gave me more consensus to be bearish here today. And then at the same time, I wanted to top that off with my 15-minute. And then here on the 15-minute is where everything happens. This is on a OTE level range from this swing high to the swing low. And then we have a fair value gap under OTE. And I did see some solid rejection there. But that wasn't my trade. I did miss this trade because we had 10 a.m. news. And at the same time, Trump was tentative to talk. So I wasn't too comfortable actually placing a trade here, but everything did go down exactly how I wanted it to. It did meet my level. We did end up having a rejection block here on the 5-minute, and we did tap into the rejection block pretty nicely. And then at the same time, CE of this gap as well. So coming on from there, I just dived down to the 1-minute, and I wanted to see exactly how I could execute. And on this trade, which is pretty much look for ACISD or inverse fair value gap, and we do have one pretty neat right here. So we would enter there. And on this short, since we do have a small IFEG there too, we did displace on the CISD, and we have our protected high there. And then since I wanted to do this data low, this was my prominent low here. Same thing with this drawn liquidity that I had here on this 4 hour. Since we did put a low here on this data candle, and we did not sweep this data low, my target or my TP was this full data low down here. So I did end up taking 50% on this line, and then ended up taking full TP right here. But going over this trade, how you could have just held all the way from pretty much 10 a.m. to 11:30. You could have held this full trade as well. This trade would have been a pretty good trade, but the trade that I did get hop on was I just wanted to see price play out for a couple more minutes, I guess. And then from there, I wanted to see more confirmation that we were actually going to push this low here if we didn't already sweep it here. So since we ended up coming up here, I did find some PD arrays that we were able to end up rejecting. So we ended up rejecting this 1-minute gap, and as well as a 5-minute gap as well. And then we ended up creating a rejection block. I wanted to hop into the rejection block, but I wanted to have more confirmation that we would actually go down to the downside. So we ended up doing a CISD, but then this ended up being too much of a range for me to enter, and having as a I just wanted a good RR, so I didn't want to enter off this CISD. So I just waited for price to come up to this gap here, and then I entered off this candle here. and then from there it was um, pretty good trade. Not a lot of drawdown aside from this candle here when we tapped into this equilibrium point and into this fair value gap, but aside from that there was zero to no drawdown aside from there. So all of that, obviously I wanted to target my data lows, and that's exactly what we did. I took half on these lows here, especially on that 4-hour low that we did put into that that 4-hour fair value gap, and then we ended up just taking out these lows, and then ended up going deeper, and then tapped into another 4-hour to the 1 hour, and another 15-minute and another 15-minute order block as well. I was keeping my eyes on this too, because we did have a solid rejection block, and I did wanted to enter here to ping pong NQ, but it was just one trade a day, especially on a Friday. I wasn't trying to overtrade and just over leverage my portfolio, and especially getting rid of my profits. So this is pretty much it for the trade recap, and honestly, it was just one of those days where I just wanted to see how price would play out, and just wait after all the news and all the meetings was done. So from there, I just ended up catching this trade, but that's pretty much it.